both starting out, pretty confident,
And
and
they're actually starting out right now.
at the very least, the first thing that they will pick up, they'll have a wooden sword for their. So if push comes to shove, we do have
xIceblue playing with the Link Spray, and the green leaf effect is playing as a purple Wizrobe. As we head on over towards the level 3 area, what do we have first for our adventures? Level 4 is at level 3 today. And how do you feel about finding level 4 this early on?
I think that you could find worse levels to begin with. You definitely want to see the lower number of dungeons, but this shutter room right off the bat, where you're kind of trapped with some likes, not exactly the ideal.
Well, the good thing about this is that the likes are not going to be really able to sneak up on you. You got to be careful of the one that's on the right-hand side, but given the narrow path that they have to go.
Yeah, there definitely are worse enemies you can fit in here. And
Absolutely.
I don't care what you say, Rick. No color with Wizrobe that TGE plays is going to make me like them anymore.
Well, we'll see. I mean, on TGE's side, it's going to be Link Robes we're dealing with. So we've got likes, we've got Pole's Voice inside of this level 4, and not a whole lot we can really do otherwise. So it looks like Greenleaf is going to just, or rather, xIceblue is going to go ahead and nope out of this. TGE is actually going to try to combat this room, see if there is a rune drop. And if this turns out to be something that TGE finishes off, and it's a good drop, then more power to him. We have Gorias and Darknuts in the overworld.
That's a very good sign for the runners. You'd like to see Darknuts out on the overworld, which means they're not going to be hidden in dungeons. And we find level 7 here at level 1, everyone's favorite.
Yeah, seeing Darknuts and Gorias are... Oh, Wizrobes in 7. Yum. Wizrobes together with Moblins.
Yep, TG taking down some of the Pole's Voices over on the right, making good work of them, but this fight is going to take a little longer no matter play.
That is really good news for TGE. He does get the hard drop, so therefore he now knows the floor drop is out of the commission there for level 4. That's actually pretty good for him to find. It's not the best drop you can have, but at least knowing that you've got the floor drop of the dungeon means when you're back in there, you're looking for just the staircase item.
Yep, nice to have that book clue too. If you know there's a staircase there, you know there's a good possibility that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, especially with level 4. As we see xIceblue checking out the normal bomb shop that turns out to be cheap bait for 61 rupees, but not much else to report there. Check underneath the Armos. Hey, that's a nice find.
That's an important one. Finds the bow under the Armos statue as the green leaf effect is screen wrapping over towards the graveyard. We see xIceblue making their way over there right now.
So Greenleaf heading on over towards level 6, gonna get there second as xIceblue makes his way in there first, and we find a level that we cannot do just yet.
Level 9 in the level 6 location, not a bad find. You want to avoid traveling over to that area of the map as much as possible, unless you really need to. It's a pretty long walk, even with screen scrolling, so not a bad thing to have level 9 in the level 6 location.
I will say this, though, that having level 6 where it is, or having level 9 where it is, rather, means that Magical Sword could be a little better in play than it would be in most cases.
Definitely, you can see that might be routed in depending on the health of this seed, how many hearts we pick up, as xIceblue takes advantage of that take any right down by the coast.
So Greenleaf is going to head on over here to the Armos, and we'll have to see whether or not he chooses to head over towards the level 9 area, knowing that level 9 is now out of commission. See what's up on top of Death Mountain since he's over this way. Does pick up the bow. Probably will investigate this shop to see what's inside, or not. Those rocks are saying no to him.
They're being very unfriendly. xIceblue trying to get around the coast there, just running into some Darknuts there on the overworld who are having none of it.
Yeah, that's not a real fun screen to have those Darknuts conglomerate, because not only do you have to deal with them, you have to deal with that one pesky Goria who, you know how Gorias are, they like to fire at will.
Take no prisoners. And you know what? I think just to top it all off, the cherry on the cake for that, or on top Sunday rather, for that screen is that Zora.
And the
Gets you
Zelda
out of there.
ends up nailing him.
So TGE has found level 5 up here at the Vanilla 9 location.
And he sees an immediate Lammola that he says no to. Does get a key, which is a nice drop to see when you have no keys at all in a room that doesn't require you to use one.
Yeah, and Aquament is there, not too terribly difficult of a boss, is guarding level 1 vanilla, so really is not going to present too much.
We get the HUD clip here from xIceblue. And we have a possible staircase here. We get Lionel's in level 5. And that's the transport staircase.
So we're about to see what's on the coast here. The silver arrows, 2 overworld items for our runners, so that means the ladder is required in this scene. Well, you could do a world clip, but you still won't be able to pick up the item and get back. And TGE finds the any key there in level 5, a very good early game find.
Yeah, now he no longer has to worry about the key issues. Sees a bomb upgrade for 89.
Only 88 short, so not happening quite.
But if he has to come back here later, then he knows that it's here. As we see xIceblue finding level 3. And an immediate staircase. And more Pole's voice.
Fun.
And the raft and the book for TGE. So we know there's a meme out there in regards to what we just found in level 3, but we're not going to say it because we know that it's been done before by other people.
Well, given the line set that we're playing, we know that we're going to need the raft and the recorder to get to 2 of our dungeon locations. So that's xIceblue right off.
TG knows that this is a potential of a drop room, being a T room in a level 5, which means the drop is actually going to come down on the T platform. He can't collect it when he finishes off this room, but it's always good to know what it is if he can finish off this room. And we get our first map. What do you think that looks like?
That's a great question. I think there's an enemy in Super Metroid that looks like that. They kind of bounce. I don't exactly know what it's called, but that's kind of what it reminds me.
I know exactly what you're talking about. They're down in Norfair.
That's the one.
And then they're not fair.
Oh no, TGE taking a death there in level 5. All that work on the Pole's voices, but they really are. They do pack a punch, and they take a while to take out with the wooden sword. It's just not good news.
And the problem is that TGE had a smaller window where he could actually do the fighting in that room. That's not an easy room to try to take care of those Pole's voice. The room that he killed him in level 4, he's got plenty of places that he can go to dodge the Pole's voice. Here, he does not have quite as much he can depend on.
It's just tough to get around in all cases. And we see that the ropes have rolled up to 3 HP. It's pretty nasty.
As xIceblue kills off the Pole's voice, the Pole's voice, to not only find the compass, but also find, hey, look, you're going to need another key if you want to get to that Triforce.
So making that play toward level 5, I believe, which was at vanilla level 2. Not a bad call if xIceblue decides to go in that direction, if only for the location of the any key.
We're dealing with a half-a-heart shuffle for both of these runners. Unfortunately, TGE gets tackled by a rope. And the tough thing about ropes is if you're standing on a full tile, and you have no way of knowing it in that room that TGE was in, but if you're standing on the full tile, that's when the ropes will charge at you. If you're on the half tile, they will not do that charge. Unfortunately, he was on the full tile, and therefore he got the full charge out of that rope, which meant death.
Just a snake right to the face. Painful stuff. And xIceblue unfortunately gets hit by a fireball.
Yeah, both of these runners are having some issues here. In level 5, that kind of looks like Birdo.
All right. I'll give you that.
What do you think it looks like?
No, I can see Birdo.
No, what
Man,
was the first thing that came to your mind?
it kind of reminds me of like Vermont, I think, but like Vermont shifted over a little bit. I'm not very good at the name that. I'm just making it up a second.
Being somebody who lives about maybe 50 minutes away from the state of Vermont, I can definitely tell you that does not look like Vermont.
Greenleaf effect really just thankfully gets a clock there and should be able to take down the rope. Is rewarded with a key, which is not going to really do anything for him.
xIceblue down to one heart here, the one room away from the Triforce, desperately seeking a key so he doesn't have to go back into this 3.
Will we see one drop in this room?
Oh.
No, we do see a heart container.
Well, that's also good information there. So now xIceblue can just leave this dungeon for the time being and not have to worry about hunting down another item.
Exactly. TGE finds the Triforce on the floor. And nice, easy pickup there.
Yeah, and of course, because he's already found both of the items inside of level 5, he is completely done with that dungeon. So as xIceblue trying to maintain his life, trying to get into the Armo statue here, gotta be careful. These blue levers can do 1 heart damage, and now one hit will take him to death here as he's trying to dodge the B-hats as well. Is able to move around and get his 30 rupee seeker, the mid secret turning out to be 27 in this seed.
Not too bad. Rolled a little low, but honestly could be worse. TGE looked like is farming bombs, I think, and picks up a clock. Manages to sneak past the darkness. And xIceblue in one of the take any up at Monocle.
Yeah, he's now at 6 hearts, which will guarantee the white sword. Now, TGE is making his way over towards the white sword area. At 4 hearts, he has a 33% chance of wielding whatever is here. So it's not a guarantee, and he might try to sword down some of these gorillas, maybe have a chance for some bombs. Gotta have to be careful, because I don't like having gorillas stacked like that, because how random they can throw their boomerangs at you.
Absolutely, and it looks like xIceblue, both runners, given a high five to each. And we see that the sword item is a heart container.
Yeah, so TG's
has enough to pick it up.
Sorry. So TG's not going to be upset about that, missing out on that heart container. If it was something like the ladder, then he definitely would be upset about it. xIceblue is doing a good job getting 10 count so he can get some bombs off the gorillas.
Yeah, definitely an advanced strat for any Zelda player. For runners of this caliber, not surprising to see. TGE was very close to the vanilla level 5 location, and unfortunately just took a death on the overworld.
So we find level 2 up at level 5.
And a heart container on the floor there in level 2.
And Moblin's in this level, which means, if I believe correctly, the Moblins were together with the Wiz Robes. Another bomb force here for xIceblue. And item management can be very, very key in these races.
You hit the nail on the head there, Rick. Absolutely, it can make all the difference whenever you are running through the dungeons, especially when you hit level 9 if you haven't picked up that NE. We do find out that level 2 is segmented, so I'm excited to see what that map is going to look like.
Well, we may not get to see it if that Dig Dugger has it.
xIceblue takes down the Ruby boss and is rewarded with the compass.
Yeah, you see him try to pause right there. And that was because he was hoping to maybe collect that last rupee with enough time to allow him to grab the door to do the Kanana key, but he was a little too short of the destination and could not pull off the Kanana key at this point. Now he's checking both of these bomb walls, so it looks to be that the Triforce in level 2 is part of the southern segment, or the northern segment that he's in right now.
That's right. We did see a successful kinetic key from xIceblue earlier, a few rooms into the dungeon. So even if he didn't make the second one,
xIceblue gonna have to be careful as he's down to 1 heart dealing with these blue Wizrobes, trying to make them dance, get them hip with the bombs. 3 of them as opposed to a large room of 8, but still not a fun room to be dealing with them in. Missed with that bomb right there.
yeah, this is not a fun dance to undertake.
Down to 1 more. And the problem is with the 2 shutter doors, he can't leave and save this room if he takes the death. He does finish it off. We see a man handle it guarding the Triforce in this level 3 that TGE was able to pull.
Yep, and looks like we've got a standard 1-hit HP for the Wall Masters, which, you know, is small wherever.
Having 1 HP on the Wall Masters is very nice because when you get the 3 HP Wall Masters, that's not fun, especially when they start knocking back and still knocking back. Good news here also is that the blue Moblins rolled down -2 to 1 HP.
Yeah, no complaints about that, especially when you need to farm bomb.
So xIceblue is going to have to finish off this room here with the Wall Masters. Get them taken down. Grabs the Triforce, and that's the first Triforce for xIceblue. Greenleaf with 2 of them. But he doesn't know about those silvers out on the coast just yet.
I'm sure we'll find that eventually, but that's been a piece of knowledge that's not in your normal route. And you're not expecting to have to go over that way. Could make all the difference there for xIceblue.
Some bomb drops right there for TG. Gets 2 packs of bombs, and we're going to see
Very
what's in the
nice.
candle shop on both sides of the screen. And we have 74 rupee arrows. xIceblue looks to be picking those up.
What?
Good decision.
If I'm in xIceblue's position, I'm doing the same exact thing. We know the Pulse voices are in the dungeons, and you can see some combat rooms that take 1 or 2 minutes. And when you're in a race setting, that's absolutely not what you want to be doing. So I think that's a good call as xIceblue heads up to the level 4 location.
Yep, we're going to see which one is here. 168 still remain on our radar. And it turns out to be 6. So the 2 dungeons that have 3 items. One of them is at level 8. The other one is recorder blocked. Did we ever see the second item in this level 2?
In level 2, no, we did not. I was just looking at my chart here. We did find a heart container, but no second items. We'll see what TGU digs out of this level to see if that gives him any sort of commanding advantage over xIceblue.
See xIceblue spending a bomb before he picks up a bomb right there. Good mental remembering of doing that. Sometimes it can be really hard to do so. We get Wizrobes in 6.
Yeah, and you always like to see those Dodongo rooms too, because they could be the bomb refill rooms that you really need.
And speaking of Wizrobes, there's TGE with his Link robes, since he is playing as the Wizrobe character. Nice bombing. Nice patience. Gets hit by 1, so he's gonna go to backup strats here with the bombs. Lays him down, takes care of it. We get another ladder block here for xIceblue. Oh, Greenleaf hugged, dead.
Since he's using an explosive on Link, would you say that strategy is the bomb.com? I'm sorry, I'll leave now.
I think TG at this point does not want to think of anything to do with that strategy. xIceblue finishes off, and Archimedes gets an item. It's a heart.
Maybe not exactly what you want to find, but still at this point, when you know that level 9 is at the vanilla level 6 location, again, that route toward Magical Sword could make all the difference.
Absolutely. And xIceblue is right now at 9 hearts, and he can easily pick up a 10th when he goes and picks up the silver arrows when he gets the ladder. Because of course he's still got oh boy, that's not a room. So when he picks up the wrapped heart, that will make 10. Of course, he still also has the candle roll heart container that he can pick up as well. So TGE is going to say no to this level 2. He did pick up one of the items by way of the heart, and now he's off somewhere else. It looks like that the rare shop or the group C shop, one of those two, is going to be your candle shop for this seed.
Yeah, that absolutely could make the difference at this point. If we don't see the red candle here in the wild, then we're going to want to make that candle purchase as soon as possible, I think, because we know that level 8, or under the level 8 location, is important.
And Threech, I would ask you to name that ink blot for 6, but even I have no clue what the world I would call that.
I'll get back to you when I find it, but we did find the ladder there at level 6, so that is the silver arrows for xIceblue. Very good news. Picks it up in... So we see TGE up alongside the lake here, and we'll find in this shop, bait rolled 61.
Yeah, that's the cheap bait right there, 61 rupees. And now he's going to go to what is the rare shop, see if the candle turns out to be there. It is. It's 66. Greenleaf just has enough. That would have been really rough if you did not, and you had to go all the way back up that way.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for knowing where it is, but if you can get it while you're there, that's obviously the ideal play. And xIceblue finds a Chevy room, but now that he has ladder, is able to progress through there without a problem. Lots of shutter door rooms here in level 6, and not too much behind them. Basically, just defeat the enemy or the boss that's in there, and then move on with very few drops.
So Greenleaf with this candle is going to go ahead and find out what the large secret is in just a very second here as he tries to dodge off some dark nuts, gets around them, and the large secret rolls 1 from the maximum, 149 rupees.
Ooh, buddy, that is some nice assurance to have for the rest of the race if you need purchase arrows or what have you, bombs toward the end,
or even a blue ring purchase if we need one. So the ladder in 6 was needed. Triforce ladder blocked 8 at 8, which means 1 is going to be recorder blocked.
All right, the advantage Greenleaf effect has right now is that there are 3 items at large in level 8. So we might find, we could find the recorder, we could find the wand, which would just be an extra combat plus, we could find the red ring.
Well, you know how much the red ring could be. Definitely a big boon to a runner. And we do see ourselves the Goma blocking off a room, and well, that's probably making Greenleaf say a few words at this point. xIceblue back in this level 4, and with the arrows, he will easily find out that this Pulse Voice room here has a heart container. Puts him at 10.
Yep, and you wonder at this point, is TGE considering, should I buy the wood arrows or do I just look for the silvers? It's hard to say, but with the large secrets being what it feels like, buying those wooden arrows wouldn't be a bad idea.
We do see Virus here in this level 4. Don't know what they rolled at this point because we haven't seen any attempts to kill them by way of bombs. And Greenleaf sees Lionel's in this level 8. And that's enough for him to say, nope, I'm done. He earlier saw that arrow shop. He's going to purchase it. Red candle in 4. Because speaking of somebody who had an advantage by a purchase of arrows in a race that I won't spoil exactly what ended up finishing off that run. It really can make a race different if it turns out that Goma's holding on to something important. The Poles Voice have something important, and you've seen a whole bunch of Poles Voice in a whole bunch of dungeons at this point. So this is definitely a good decision.
Yeah, one of the challenges of running this game is certainly routing it. You need to determine which items are needed to battle which bosses, and which could possibly be hiding a forest, hiding a critical item to finish the game. So you really have to be thinking at all times, what's the best play? What can I optimize here? And what chances should I take?
So unfortunately for xIceblue, he ran out of bombs in this level 4, doesn't know exactly where he needs to go with this part in the dungeon. He was trying to get some off the fires, but unfortunately got bonked before he could actually bomb them all together in order to get the 10 count. So that was unfortunate for him, but being able to bomb the fires was a nice find for him, considering the fact that sometimes they roll high and you lose a very good source of bombs. So now xIceblue now finds out about that large secret being 149 rupees. SCG finds a staircase.
Ooh, nice find there in level 8. TGE picks up the recorder, which we know is necessary to access level 1, which also contains 3 items. So TGE could see him making that play soon. xIceblue is wrapping around the world and grabs those silver arrows off the.
Yeah, so he's not going to pick up the raft, and I can understand why at this point. It is pretty much a death trap to try to pick that up at this stage, considering the fact that, hey, look, you gotta go through these blue dark nuts. They're not nice.
Yep, and we're about to see xIceblue, head into level 8 as well. So we'll see the runners maybe take the same route, maybe have a bit of a divergence. We'll see more of the level and discover what else is located.
By the way, Threech, with xIceblue being in this level, once he gets that recorder, he'll be in Triforce and Go mode.
Yeah, very fast seeds. 27 minutes in, we know where all of the important items are. Really, it gives both the runners an opportunity to play well, to continue moving through the dungeons and see which one of them just does it faster. And we know TG has not checked out the coast yet, if I remember correctly. So that means that TG doesn't know that the silvers could be gambling on that. But we'll see if xIceblue continues digging through this dungeon. Also, xIceblue did not pick up the any key, so that could be an issue.
Yeah, key management could become an issue here for xIceblue, but knowing how much the large secret is, he may be able to purchase them at this stage. He's going to leave this level 8, or TG is going to leave this level 8 at this point, and consider his options up here. He will find level 6. This will give him the ladder. And TGE doesn't know it, but he will soon be in Triforce and Go mode too.
So we know that TGE is going to pick up the ladder in a shoot room over here in level 6. xIceblue, I believe this was the staircase where we found the recorder.
It was. He's going to do the double block clip right there. And there is 3/4 for xIceblue. That now puts him at 28 minutes, 48 seconds, Triforce, and Go mode.
Wow, an incredibly fast seed. And xIceblue knows where level 9 is. Basically just has to go collect the rest of the Triforces. And we'll be able to hopefully, make short work of the seed.
And it's always nice when you get into Triforce and Go mode without being in level 7. You can just try to search out that Triforce at this stage, try to figure out what else is going on with the seed, and, you might be still looking for a couple of things. xIceblue, 0 keys, that's going to come into play, as you mentioned before, because he did not get the any key out of level 5. Definitely some decisions to be made for both of these runners as they make their way towards the final parts of this seed. And there's a nice kinetic key for xIceblue.
Yep, and it's not outside of the realm of possibility that xIceblue does pick up the any key in level 5, still has to pick up the Triforce from there, and could, conceivably not pick up the compass and not find the Triforce ahead of time. So
Yeah.
we could.
I was also going to say is that, yeah, he could stumble across it. Our container find there for TG.
Yep, xIceblue is well equipped to do some real damage here in the combat for these dungeons. Probably feeling pretty confident about it at this point. 30 minutes in and you have everything you need.
There's the ladder for TGE. Once he finds out about those silver arrows on the coast, he too will be in Triforce and Go mode. All he's now searching for is the Triforce in this level 6.
Yep. And no matter who found what object first, it really is anyone's race at this point. It could be the case that TGE picks up the silvers and, they're even on Triforces, so it's really hard to say who's ahead at this point, with the exception of the silver arrows.
There's the map for TGE, so now he's got a better idea of what's going on with this level, and xIceblue picking up the Triforce in level 8. So we saw the other bomb upgrade in level 6.
Yep, TGE doesn't have enough to pick up that bomb upgrade, so we're not quite sure how much that adds to your max bombs. I think the maximum is, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the bomb upgrade can be anywhere between 75 and 125 rupees, and you can get plus 2 to 6 bombs to your capacity. xIceblue back in this level 3, but he does not have any keys.
So this is exactly what we were saying earlier, where this could make a huge difference.
TG's going to go down this direction, find out that the Triforce is not in this direction. So both of these runners, they're doing pretty well at this point, but they would love to find a quality of life item. Like, for instance, the white sword. Maybe they can get themselves a red ring. Maybe we could find something like that in level 1. And that's the next stop here for xIceblue, as he is completely out of keys. You know what the problem with level 1 is, though?
It does tend to be key starved, so we might or might not actually see this being an advantageous play for xIceblue.
Absolutely. Just because he's now currently with the Triforce lead, 3 versus 2, does not mean that this is his race to win or lose at this point. Don't forget, this is also the start of a triple header for both of these runners. They're going to play all 3 games of this best of 3 series tonight. And you know what's really nice is when you have options when you go into level 1. And there's the Triforce for TGE to tie things up. A segmented level 1.
I was gonna say, I do have options, but they are segmented options, so take that for what you will. And xIceblue...
Another segment! This is going to be a triple segmented 1. And Greenleaf is heading right straight for... I'd have to presume... He's going to go to 4 first, finish that off, and then head over towards level 1. Will he do the world wrap at that point to head back over towards level 8? At that point, he'll see the silver arrows.
I think you have to route it at some point, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that on TGE's.
Yeah. And he's already finished off this room earlier. Finds the bomb wall. There's the map to level 1.
Oh my gosh.
That's beautiful. Gotta love one-offs.
2 in 1 map. I feel like I've been seeing those more and more lately, but xIceblue doesn't really have much else to dig those 2 rooms. Do you think they'll go to that little corner guy right there?
Well, this reverse C could possibly be our staircase to actually get the item. STG sees the red candle, and at this stage, of 35 minutes in, has no interest in picking that up. There's the compass, and I did not remember seeing that on xIceblue side.
Yeah, I don't believe we did. So, TGE at least will, find the Triforce there. xIceblue decides to go for the heart container here, adding to our theory about the magical sword.
Did you notice that at the start of that, he kind of like second guessed himself? Like he was going to not pick that up, and then all of a sudden here he is picking it up?
If you're in go mode and you haven't found the red ring at this point, I understand that hesitation because you don't know, is it worth the extra several seconds to go get it? But then, if it's the difference a heart could make.
I actually don't think it's that though. I think it's just the fact that level 9 is right around the corner from the magical sword. I think if level 9 was up on Death Mountain, if level 9 was over on the east towards the forest, he would have easily have just said, nope, I'm not going to pick this up, and just rolled with 10 hearts. But I think just because the magical sword is where it is, and level 9 is where it is, that's what fueled his ideas. We get the wand, which is one of those quality of life items I was talking about.
Yep, won't hurt to have a better combat advantage there, but I think you're right with the magical sword. If you can take the chance, it's just a few extra seconds, and xIceblue picks up the Triforce level 1 after taking down some keys. TGE. Ooh, finds a Dodongo and has no bomb.
Would really be nice if he had some bombs right there.
You're not wrong, but thankfully not necessary.
Okay, so TGE at this point is likely going to route this, go into 7 to find level 1, world wrap his way to the coast to get the silver arrows. He doesn't know it's there at this point. He's probably also considering maybe picking up the secret at this stage. Is 11 enough for the magical sword? No, it is not. And just for right now, while we're doing a couple of things that we've already seen these runners do, just a couple of notes about these runners. xIceblue, the number 23 seed in this tournament that had 90 runners go into brackets, had a Z-score average of 0.84. His strengths seemed to be early on when we were playing with the vanilla dungeon layouts. Shapes got to him a little bit, and I think we saw a little of example of that come with his week with what happened to him in level 4 here. But he's still a very strong vanilla competitor. He's he's one of the ones that was in the chase for the sub 30 when we had that here in Speed Gaming back over the early summer. So he's definitely got a combative edge over the Greenleaf Effect. Greenleaf Effect, number 42 seed. He beat number 87 seed. I'm Enamel in the first round to advance to this best of 3.
To that end, Rick, I think that shapes are enough to test anyone's mettle. It's
absolutely
an enormous difference.
It is.
Performance and in strategy whenever you're considering, when you get linear dungeons or segmented dungeons, it could just turn into...
Absolutely, and that's no knock to xIceblue. It's just that his strengths was with the vanilla dungeon layouts. It's not to say that he's weak in shapes, as we can see him playing pretty well here. If he continues in this path on level 5, he may find the any key, but it all depends on which twists and turns he takes. He may just opt to leave, and the Greenleaf Effect picked up the book at some point. He's got the book and the wand.
So if you do use the sword and the wand at the same time, if you press those buttons simultaneously, you can do damage from both, which it looks like he is taking advantage of. And I think he's about to find out about that triple oh, sorry, no, this is the item. But
yeah,
that's the triple segmented one.
Yeah, he already found out about the triple segment a little bit ago. And so xIceblue right now, which direction is he going to go in this 5? Try to find the Triforce some point. Face off against these blue Lamb Mola. Finishes it off, but down to 1 heart. Considering the fact that he's walking right by the start, I would be thinking thinking about maybe doing an up and A if I was xIceblue, but he won't. TG picking up the map to that disgusting looking level 1. Did we see the third item in this level 1?
Not to the best of my knowledge. I think we had maybe a heart container.
Yeah, we had a heart container in the stairs, we had the wand, and there it is. There's the magic boomerang.
Alright, that's what we may have been missing. So, we know the any key was on the ground. It was a floor pickup for TGE, so we may see xIceblue find that as well. It depends on the combat rooms that they And we haven't seen the compass yet, so it's really a matter at this point, do they find the key or do they find the compass first?
And we know that the Triforce in this level 5 is going to be up in the upper right-hand corner. So TG is probably getting ready to do the world wrap over towards the coast, see what's out there, and we'll be very happy to find his silver arrows. There's the screen scrolling as the Wiz Robe. Even if...
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
xIceblue is picking up quite a collection of keys here. Has 5 already, which is really not a bad place to be, especially not having found that any key yet.
That's the reason why I let you say what you were going to say, because I think you were about ready to say the same thing, that regardless of whether or not he gets the any key, he's got quite the collection in this level 5.
And TG picks up the silvers off the coast, which means that both of our runners now are in Triforce and Go.
And there is the any key for xIceblue.
I'm sure he's happy to see that.
Absolutely.
To avoid having to spend a key on those doors, but now at this point it's just a mad dash of exploration to find where that tribe.
Yep, and so there's the book for xIceblue. He's picking it up. Something tells me they probably had a gentleman's agreement about this.
It's just excellent. I love it.
So really fast, go down to the very bottom of this level 8 in order to find the Triforce in here, as xIceblue needs to go to the other corner. There's the the compass that will let him know that he is on the wrong portion of this level 5. Taking a look at the bracket here that these two are part of, the winner of this match gets the number 10 seed Dr. J PhD or the number 55 seed Tom J. So they get a J no matter how you slice it.
It's J's all the way down. xIceblue takes up that Triforce at a level 5. I'm sure we'll be glad to never see this level again.
Absolutely. So now xIceblue still has to get the Triforces out of 3, 4, and make his way into level 7. The good thing about the level 3 Triforce is that he already knows where that Triforce is. We haven't really seen anything of that level 7, so we have no clue what we're getting ourselves into when we finally get to that point. GG trying to be careful. Remember, that was the room that we got the recorder in. He did get the compass, so now he's got an idea, but the problem is that he was down to 0 bomb, or down to 1 bomb, so he had to hope that he could get through there. He is able to do so. Just clears out the go mode just to get rid of it.
Yeah, not a bad play there. And here is the Triforce in level 8 for TGE.
And I really like the idea that he did. Shoot an arrow, clear out some of the things of that room so he doesn't get sniped on his way to the Triforce, because that would have been about a minute of him just not having a good time whatsoever. TGE needs the Triforces out of level 2, level 7. Level 2 is up at the Lost Hills at level 5. And then we finally get to see what's in level 7. This is an even match.
It is neck and neck. Literally the only difference here is that xIceblue has the red candle, and that makes 0 difference in the long run, I think. So we see, both runners need the Triforce out of level 7, and then we'll see the divergence here. Possibly another slight advantage that xIceblue has is the location of level 4 compared to the location of level 2. Just a little bit less walking there from.
I wouldn't be surprised if Greenleaf either does an up and A, or just simply will just go ahead and while he's doing this, we quarter his way back over towards the raft area.
I think you may be right, and chat brings up a good point. TGE walking into level 2 did have 0 bombs, managed to pick up a bomb pack, and xIceblue has had really solid bomb management this whole time, has either been lucky or strategic. So we're seeing a difference there as TGE takes down these blue Wizrobes with 0 bombs remaining.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that xIceblue creates his bombs. And look at him, fire off that Dodongo, and was able to pick up the bombs before he's grabbing this Triforce. That puts him back up to 8. You know, he's very, very comfortable when he has bombs in his pocket. And TGE without bombs at this point, just trying to do the Wizrobe shuffle. He would love to get that fairy, but don't chase it too much, because fairies can really get you in trouble.
Yep, question in chat, level 7 is located at the vanilla level 1 location, so it should be just a quick jaunt over here for xIceblue to go pick up that last piece. And
now the question is, does he get a potion or does he get a heart here?
Exactly my question. I'm going to say a potion at this point.
And that's what he grabs. Because here's the thing, he could grab a heart container. And that will give him a 33% chance at the magical sword, because he checked it at 11. Greenleaf, in fact, picks up the Triforce out of level 2. He's probably going to get a potion from that place as well.
Yeah, and if xIceblue manages to find another heart container in here, could still make a run for the magical sword, since that's right up by where the level 9 location as is.
And there he goes to level 4, so the next stop for him will be to check the Candle Row, what has been known in the Zelda 1 community as the BT's Racing Heart. It is the heart container here south of level 1. So xIceblue actually does have about a minute's edge over TG at this point. However, this is anybody's race still, because we don't know who's going to get to the Triforce first. xIceblue is just going to let that Patra hit him, then he's going to head on over here towards the left. Gets a much easier room to deal with. But the 4 keys inside, gets the map to level 7, and I have no clue.
That is one of those push mowers that you get for children that have the pop in it.
Oh, the bubble mowers.
Sure. I'll take your word for it. I like chat's suggestion of an actual foot.
I'm worried about how much that middle of the foot's arching up. Might need to go see a podiatrist.
I was gonna say get level 7 a podiatrist here.
xIceblue finding the staircase down to the other side of this level 7. Well, not too far away. And gets the Hyrulean greeting here from these blue Wizrobes. Finds a bomb hole around it. TG trying to arrow down this man, handle it. He's able to do so. Gets an xIceblue picking up a clock in the Wallmaster room.
We've all done it. Not in a race, maybe. No, it happens to the best of us.
It doesn't feel good when you do it. And it doesn't matter what caliber of runner you are.
Certainly
Looks like
not.
TG. Looks like TG is going to have the same strategy for that patch, or just walk around him. Compass found for xIceblue.
2 rooms away from the Triforce room. That is a sigh of relief on Ice Blue's side. All these fireballs. At this point, you just dodge out of that room, defeat the Aquamentus who's trying his best, and then pick up that Triforce piece.
And here's the thing, Greenleaf is only 3 rooms away. Make it 2 rooms away.
Yep, this is a very close race for our runners. And yep, here is the compass pickup.
Now Greenleaf's got to be careful. Down to 1.5 hearts. Don't get sniped. Don't get killed. He's going to walk into this room, find himself with an Aquamentus. Don't get killed. Whatever you do, do not get killed. Wait, Silver arrows him down. And we've got ourselves set up for a race in 9. The reach. I love races like this.
This is exactly the kind of show that you want to see here. The entertainment provided by both runners because they are so neck and neck. Honestly, this is incredibly close. To take note of the timer when xIceblue enters level 9 because we'll see seconds of a difference between the two.
xIceblue taking down a little bit of that room as TG will walk his way over. And here we go into level 9. Where is Ganon? Where is Zelda? Those could be the big things that come into play as we have a single direction level 9.
It is kind of funneling xIceblue through the level so far, but we'll see as they continue. It's a good place to have a bomb pack if you need to up an A from here. You can at least pick some up on the way. And you like to find moblins in the dungeons as well, because that makes it much easier to farm for bombs. So about 28 seconds behind xIceblue, TGE enters level.
We find ourselves facing off for the Lamb Mola here, or not a Lamb Mola, a Moldorm here in level 9. Finds a key that he doesn't need. Trying to arrow down this fairy, picks it up, because beam swords are still nice swords. Lynels and Moblins in this level 9.
Yep.
Oh my.
Rick, you know what we're listening and looking for at this point, but let's just go over it quickly for our audience. In level 9 here, we are listening for the Roar of Ganon, which means that we have audio clue to tell us when we are in a room adjacent to the beast or Ganon for most of the sprites. We are also looking for a single shutter door room that does not open even after all of the enemies in it have been defeated. That tells us that Zelda is in that room and that we need to go kill Ganon first before it will open.
Actually, it's Moblins and Wizrobes. I got that incorrect. Oh my. These two are almost about ready to do a high five together. xIceblue trying to bomb his way around.
No dice.
2 solid walls.
I'm sure is glad to have picked up that ending key.
Absolutely. TGE is also in this area now. This could really be the first one to Ganon. It's definitely going to be the first one to get to Zelda. Head to the shutter door. Greenleaf heading over in this direction. Listening for a roar. Did not hear it. Greenleaf is just in pursuit at this point. Both of these runners could make this thing that could make things really close. And we have ourselves a shutter door to the left there of those blue Wizrobes. I would keep a big note about that.
Absolutely not a very friendly room to defeat, though.
And we come out into a manhandler room. And is that one room to the left? Never mind.
Oh, these staircases.
I guess we will no longer keep a mental note of that. xIceblue doing an up and A. Green Leaf sees those wish robes. He wants to see what's in that staircase too. And he'll get the disappointing news. No, he won't. He'll take a death instead.
Oh.
So he'll do the other version of an up and A. The one where Link spins around in a circle. Don't forget, this is the first of a triple header for these runners. But not only that, we got a lot of great races here for Zelda 1 Randomizer tonight.
Absolutely, we do. We have a ton of series coming tonight, including the other 2 games, 1 or 2 games from xIceblue and the Green Leaf Effect.
Also here on Speed Gaming tonight, we have the Redbird Grand Orchestra match. Games 1 and 2 of that best of 3 series. Where we pray that nothing's in level 7. Or we pray that the bow's not in level 7. That's the meme. Nice fairy there for TG. TG trying to bomb around, trying to find something at this point. xIceblue pops into the staircase, finds out that it is a transport staircase. So glad that you're joining us here on Speed Gaming tonight. Pops out back to where he came from the first time around. TG getting a bomb drop off one of the moblins right here, just trying to figure out where he can go. This is a very...
Yeah, doing the same thing pretty much.
This is a very solid level 9. And I'm not talking about the performance. I'm talking about the walls.
Unbreakable.
Wooden boomerang. One of the items in 8. One of the items in 9, rather. And, oh! xIceblue is burning it before he grabs it!
Quite a play there from xIceblue. At that point, it's really just a swag play, I think.
He's doing it because of who he's facing. He knows that the wooden boomerang is TGE's thing. TGE finding the direction to go. About to pop in that staircase right now. Another room with whiz robes that you'd like to remember in future reference here.
Another thing to mention for the shapes flag set as well is that when you are using shapes for the level 9, or especially for the level...
TGE finds Zelda!
Ooh, up in the top right corner, under the number 9. If we find a dark room, a room that goes dark whenever we enter it, that is Ganon's room. We will not have any other dark rooms in level 9.
So it is not that room next to the whiz robes. Well, it is next to a room with whiz robes, but not the one that I was thinking of, as TGE will try to figure his way out to Ganon. The thing is that xIceblue might be thinking about that room he had just passed by. This still could be the first one to get to Ganon. Transport staircase for xIceblue. What a fun race this is. The TGE takes a death!
Oh, again, that's terrible luck for TGE. It's neck and neck. TGE knows where Zelda is. xIceblue is able to do a little bit more exploration here through level 9 to find.
And remember, you are never ever required to do things like block clips or ladder clips in order to make your way through a seed. So that tea room that we had seen, there's another way around. 58 minutes in. Nerves for both of these runners are getting high. They've got to wonder where each other are at this point, and they don't realize how close this race is. Or maybe they do, and that's what's increasing the nerves.
One room is really going to make all the difference. One right play, one wrong play to get to Ganon first.
xIceblue finds the direction here to go here in the southwest corner. We have the one boomerang find for TGE. Is he going to pick it up? There's the heart container. It's the other item.
Now you have to be careful in those boss rooms too, because those bosses that roar will also mask the roar of Ganon. So if you are in there, you hear them.
There it is!
eating my words because we just located Ganon over here in the western side of the.
And so, 15 wood sword hits for xIceblue. He's got his potion all set and ready to go. Gets him 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at the stun lock. 9 and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Beautiful stun lock for xIceblue.
Beats Ganon right on the hour mark. Really, a textbook. Excellent display of skill there from xIceblue, who is now, at this point, desperately searching for Zelda.
Yep, he's looking for the shutter door that doesn't open. Getting the Hyrulean welcome committee here. Would love to see a compass. And he's going for those bombs, which could be a death wish at this point. There's a key there for xIceblue. He is going to do an up and A. TGE knows where Zelda is. xIceblue has finished Ganon. Game 1 of this best of 3 series. I know I keep harping on it.
Neck and
keep
neck.
an eye out. Games 2 and 3 are going to be fun. TGE finds Ganon!
TGE's also got a potion, so could make the difference there. xIceblue is very, very close to Zelda's.
Takes a hit there, but TGE trying to get the stun lock going. A couple of rooms away is xIceblue if he goes to the north. TGE's got to be careful. A Hyrule driver will kill him. xIceblue's checking that Wizrobe room. He will see that shutter door does not open. He's going to check the room to the north. There is TGE picking up the Triforce. Now, does xIceblue try to face off against this Wizrobe room? No, he's not. He's going to try to walk around as that Greenleaf effect going to head in the direction. It's xIceblue. He's walking away from the direction that Zelda's in.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to pull out the potion. Greenleaf knows where Zelda is. He could steal this game 1. So TGE is walking right back in the direction. He knows exactly where to go. xIceblue is now walking in the wrong direction. He needs a compass to save him, and he needs it to find it right now. TGE is just 3 rooms away.
TGE knows exactly where Zelda is, and
one gel away. And there it is for TGE. The shutter door is going to open, and he's going to steal game 1 from xIceblue.
Get your GGs in chat there for the Greenleaf effect. The first round winner of this best 2 out of 3 series between xIceblue and the Greenleaf. What an amazing comeback there. As xIceblue took Ganon first, but TGE had already found Zelda. Well, had found Ganon.
Absolutely. Now that was the big play right there, is the fact that Greenleaf knew where Zelda was after Ganon. 1 extra room search by Greenleaf made all the difference. Wow.
We knew xIceblue was in that room immediately below.
What an amazing game 1, and stay tuned. Game 2 of this best of 3 series is going to begin shortly after we're done with things with this first game. This is going to be a fun series.
Yep, we are looking at the next game between these 2 runners coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern, so about 29 minutes from now.
And xIceblue is throwing in the towel.
Rick, what a first race.
What an amazing game one, friends. These two are going to go ahead and shake things off. And they'll bounce back for game number 2 in just a few moments. Shoutouts to Dude, who's clicking the buttons in the background for us.
Absolutely. We thank you all for joining us here for the first round of 3 between xIceblue and Greenleaf Effect. We will be returning with these runners at 7 p.m. Eastern to continue their second race.
We may have them coming in here for a talk. So, I mean, we're 30 minutes ahead of the schedule, so we may have them coming in here. So stay tuned. Coming up here in just a few moments, we're going to have game number 2 of this best of 3 series. And, you know, if this was any indication of what's going to end up happening, I know you are going to have an amazing call coming up in just a few moments with Wolfman.
That's right. I will be back in the saddle here for game number 2, doing commentary once more. We're going to have a great time. I'm excited. Could be, at this point, we saw how close that was. It could be anyone's.
Absolutely. And it came down to one extra room. It really came down to one extra room. If xIceblue checks that shutter door that was north of the gels after picking up the wooden boomerang, he finds the Rupee boss. And then he finds Ganon first, and then he ends up taking this race, but he did not check that room. And that's what led to the big difference here. So Give us just a few moments here before we switch over. So what do you think about this? I mean, what do you think about this first match? This is exactly what we wanted in this tournament. A lot of close matches here throughout this entire brackets.
Absolutely. Any competition in any sort, you always love to see 2 competing sides going up against each other when they're evenly matched. If it's way tilted in one player or one team's, it can make the match less thrilling. But when you see this even match of skill, of routing, of strategy, that's really what makes this worth watching. xIceblue and the Greenleaf Effect, both seasoned players who know their stuff, they know what they're doing, and really can showcase the fact that it can come down to 1 or 2 rooms that are unchecked or inaccessible.
Well, let's stay tuned. Game number 2 coming up next here on Speed Gaming. Threech and Wolfman will have the call. That's coming up next year on Speed Gaming. For Threech, we'll be back with the call, and for Dude who clicked the buttons in the background, I'm Adirondack Rick saying thank you for joining us. Game 2 next.
Thanks so much to Adirondack Rick for being co-commentary. We'll see you guys